The revelation that Obamacare architect Jonathan Gruber was caught on tape saying the health care law only passed because Americans are stupid initially made very few headlines. And still, the story has basically been ignored by the mainstream media. The man who first discovered Gruber's comments says it took a long time to convince anybody in the media to pay attention. Howard Kurtz is our Fox News media analyst and host of Media Buzz right here on Fox News Channel. Good to see you, Howard.
Hi, Shannon.
All right, and I understand that you talked to the gentleman who spent a whole lot of time and effort on a mission, sort of, and he uncovered these comments.
It's a fascinating tale. His name is Rich Weinstein. He's a Philadelphia investment advisor. He had about 20 Twitter followers. He was ticked off because he lost his own health insurance policy and his premiums ended up doubling. And so he spent hours scouring the net, found these Jonathan Gruber videos, and then spent about a year using Facebook and phone calls to try to get any news organization to pay attention. He tried Fox. He tried National Review, Forbes, Glenn Beck, a network affiliate in Philadelphia. He couldn't get anybody to call him back.
Well, and what's interesting is that just years ago, thinking about the fact that he wouldn't have even had these options. I mean, one, to probably pour through all these speeches and video, but two, to use social media to try to get it out there. I mean, it shows you how much the world is changing when one guy can track all this stuff down and eventually it breaks through.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we live now in the era of citizen journalism where anybody who has got a strong point of view, who uncovers some documents, some evidence, some videos, can eventually break through. Though, boy, was he frustrated about it. He said, all I wanted was a train ticket to D.C. and some autographed pictures of the people who I guess he sees on TV. But it is interesting also, Shannon, you know, no media organization can afford to have a reporter spend days, weeks, months looking for a needle in a haystack unless you have a tip to something there. Who knew that these academic conferences were Jonathan Gruber was speaking, where he would be insulting the intelligence of the American people and talk about how Obamacare was deceptively packaged. So ultimately, Rich Weinstein, through his tenacity, was able to get this story out, but it took a while.
Yeah, and if you don't even know that there's a needle to look for, I mean, that's the first problem in this whole thing. I mean, he was just so motivated because of the negative impact on him, as you mentioned. But it sounds like now he sort of, now that this is heating up, he wants to sort of stay out of the limelight, saying it's about something bigger, not about him.
Yeah, that's the most interesting thing. I mean, we don't even have a picture of him to show you because he didn't want to give me one. I had an audio interview with him, but he wouldn't come on camera. And when I asked him why, because this is kind of his 15 minutes of fame, he said, well, if I get out there too much, I'll become a political target and people will start dumping on me. So he's not a journalist. He's basically Joe Citizen who came up with this thing that turned out to be a really important element of this Obamacare debate.
Yeah, even though most of the mainstream networks have yet to join the party. But anyway, tell us who else you have on Sunday.
Thanks for asking. Sharyl Attkisson is in the news again. Some newly released emails showing how the Obama administration consider her out of control. She will be on the program on Sunday. And as well, we'll talk to Sarah Lacy, the tech journalist who's at the center of this huge controversy over Uber after an Uber executive told the journalist that he might consider hiring some Oppo researchers and digging into journalists' private lives, including that of Sarah Lacy. So she'll be on my show to respond.
That is a frightening, bizarre story. All right, lots of good information to see there. We'll see you on Sunday, Howard. Thanks.
Thanks, Shannon.